You know, when you think about this iconic scene from the season 2 finale Doomsday Project, with Sonic and Sally both sharing the incredible power of the Power Stones, which were the equivalent at that time of the Chaos Emeralds for Sonic SatAM, it makes you think about one thing. Was this a hint? Was this an Easter egg thrown in there, even if Ben-Hur originally meant for it to be in the script without knowing or even having an idea? It makes you wonder if maybe Sega, who could have easily nixed it in the bud, let's be honest, because as we know, everything has to go through them for approval, no matter what adaptation or version of Sonic it is. It has to make you wonder if Sega okayed this because maybe they had plans. I mean, we all know about the Sonic Spinball bonus stage with the characters. We all know that. We all know about the prototype video of the Sonic SatAM RPG side-scrolling game that was in the works. But besides that, you have to be thinking to yourself, were there other plans? Because again, Sega could have easily nipped this scene in the bud. They could have had them alter it. They could have had it to where Sonic's carrying Sally like he usually does, and that's it. But they decided, hey, Ben, you want to go that route? No problem. Go ahead. You got our approval. It makes you wonder if they did that for a reason. I mean, we all know that years later when Sega World in Australia opened up, that basically Sally, if I can pull it up here correctly, Sally was one of the main characters that they had in a starring role, in a main starring role, if you will. You know, it has to make you wonder. It has to make you wonder that with her in a starring role in one of their indoor theme parks that were across the world, you know, you got to think, did Sega have plans for her? I mean, Sega's the one that nipped her death originally in Endgame in the bud, along with the fan support. They nipped it in the bud. And maybe it has to do with the fact that she was going to be a main character in the Sega Land theme park in Australia. But besides that, it makes you wonder. It makes you kind of really turn the rails in your head and think, did Sega originally have plans for her to be incorporated maybe in the games? Because again, you look at this scene in Doomsday Project, and then you look at what they did later on in the comics at times with this character, and you have to think, did Sega have plans? Were their initial plans included in development or in pre-productions to get this character involved more so in the Sonic games, you know, than we thought? In other words, get her more exposure, along with some other characters, but mostly Sally, get her more exposure outside of the comics and in the cartoons that she's known for by putting her in the games. You have to really think about that. You have to really think, because one thing a lot of people look at when they look at and discuss, I should say, the controversial Sonic 2006 game, you know, people keep always thinking, they probably still think about it to this day, that if Princess Elise was originally meant to be Princess Sally. Makes you think, right? Because why would they suddenly decide, okay, we're going to add a princess to the Sonic franchise. We're going to, you know, make her the princess of the kingdom. We're going to make her a potential love interest for Sonic and vice versa. And yet she's going to be human. And we all know how people felt about that, right? How people reacted to that. So it makes you wonder if Elise originally was penned in to be Sally. I think she was. And everybody I'm pretty sure that's hearing this would agree that that does make sense. And it does seem like that could have been the direction they were originally going to go in. But then, once again, Yuji Nagata, I think that's his name, basically along with the Sega of Japan team, stepped in and said, no, you're going to go this route. Because here's the thing. A lot of people blame Sega of Japan for kind of prematurely ending Sonic SatAM. But the blame could be also put on the Power Rangers destroying them in the ratings. What I'm getting at, though, is no matter how you look at this show ending, this one scene here, this one scene is a scene that, again, they could have easily nixed in the bud, but they didn't. You know, they could have told Ben-Hur, no, you're not going to do that. You're going to have to alter it. You're going to have Sonic carry her, or something like that. Or do something similar to what we see in 125 of the Sonic comic. You know, it makes you think, it makes you wonder. And, for the fact that Sega, again, doesn't matter what, worldwide branch it was, giving the okay and the thumbs up for this scene to happen, it makes you think, it makes you wonder and speculate. Did they have plans? Did they allow this because they had plans? It makes you think. Now, here's the thing. How this relates to hashtag Rally for Sally, I believe it relates due to the fact that there's going to be a lot of people that have currently and will be watching or rewatching this final episode either through the Stars/Encore on Demand channel, Wild Brain YouTube channel, or through the physical copies of Sonic SatAM on DVD, or even the digital copies they download through places like Amazon, YouTube, Vudu, you name it. Because when you think about it, and I'm trying to think of a word, what I was going to say here, sorry about that, but when you think about it, they could utilize this one scene. They could pinpoint back to this one scene and say, look, if Sega didn't want her evolved in any shape or form, then why did they allow this scene to happen? Why did they allow this scene to take place and become a reality? It really makes you think. Because we have seen with the comics, and even with the anime Sonic X, that Sega will, basically downgrade or put the thumb down on any potential ideas. Whether they're romantic ideas, whether they're ideas to go a little over the edge, what have you. You kind of get what I'm saying. Basically Sega, depending, like I said, on whatever worldwide branch is representing Sonic at the time, if not all of them, they have the power to nix an idea in the bud. Or nix it in the bud, if you know what I mean. And here they didn't. So it makes you wonder, was this iconic scene in Doomsday Project with Sally through the Power Stones, which again were the equivalent of the Chaos Emeralds, if her absorbing the power of the Power Stone and thus absorbing, Sonic's power, incredible power of speed into her own body, and then even kind of taking on a little bit of its characteristics afterwards, wanting to see, what the effects would do when a kiss is involved, it makes you wonder. It makes you think. It makes you speculate. And to me, as I was trying to say, because again, I was trying to find the words to say moments ago, because I'm doing this, off the top of my head, it makes you wonder, if not think, perhaps those behind hashtag Rally for Sally could go back to this scene and pinpoint it to the Sonic team and say, look, Sega could have easily nipped this in the bud, but they didn't. So it makes you think. It makes you think, did they have plans? And if you present it to Sonic team in that manner, kind of pinpoint this out, it'll make them probably think, hey, that does make sense. It does make sense that, or in other words, it'll make them think and make them kind of wonder, that does make sense. Sega wouldn't have approved that if they didn't have plans. So again, speculation and theory. Because there's so many moments in this show and in the comics and other shows afterwards that they could have easily nipped in the bud, but they let go. So it makes you wonder, did they have plans? Did they have plans to go a little further? Did they have plans to use this one scene when they gave Ben Hurst the okay to let the scene roll and happen? If they had plans to use this scene as an Easter egg, as a prelude to something more. Because again, we know about the prototype game that was nixed. We know that there was rumored plans to put them into what was originally going to be Sonic Mars or Sonic Extreme, and then later on just became Sonic 3D Blast. We all know that there were rumors and plans. But it makes you wonder if maybe there were plans in the works before that. And that this one iconic scene from Sonic SatAM, the Doomsday Project, alludes to that. But what do you guys think? Am I just, drawing for straws and speculating way too far? Or do you think maybe I have a point? Let me know down below. Comment if you like, and I'm out.